Everybody, for those of you that don't know, I held this slot for about 6 months not so long ago. Only difference is I remember that I had the slot and I actually prepared for it. So today is a little bit off the cuff, unfortunately. When I did my slot, I spoke quite a lot about a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's probably been the book that's influenced most millionaire and billionaires than any other book. So all I'm going to do today is recap the 13 principles from that book, and I'm going to see if anyone remembers any of them, and so in order. Right, if anyone listened for 6 months, then basically. First one, anyone know what it is?
Cool. Right, yeah.
Excellent. Right, it's well worth doing it. Desire, okay? The most important thing you need in your life is a definite purpose. This is a reason why you do something. If you have no reason to do it, then you often tend to stop trying when things don't go your way. So the first thing is desire. Make sure what you're doing is the thing you really want to be doing. Second is faith, and this is not religious faith, it is a self-confidence in that what you're doing will work. When you've got faith, even if you do fail, you don't see the negatives in the failure. All you see are the positives that's not the way to do it. And I think, without any fact, who was it? Einstein? No, it was who invented the light bulb? Who invented Edison? He said, I've not failed 1,000 times. I've just found 1,000 ways of not doing it. Okay, so it's always seeing the positive in everything you do. Next is auto-suggestion. This is a bit airy-fairy, or used to be. It's basically affirmations and visualisations. Okay, when you actually sit down, if you can't see the £1 million in your bank, the chances are it won't end up there. Okay, for these things to happen, and it goes back to Louise's secret. You really have to believe it's going to happen. You really have to see that money in the bank. If you don't, there's very little chance, unless you win the lottery, that it's going to happen. Specialised knowledge. No man has grown rich on general knowledge. If you really want to become rich, you really have to understand what you're doing, and you have to be better than the next man and the man after him. You have to basically read and really understand your profession. Next is imagination. Whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Now, back in the 1900s, if someone had said one day we will fly to the moon, you could have been hung for being a madman, okay? People just wouldn't have believed it. But people actually believe that this can happen. Once you believe something can happen, and you can actually see it happening, then you can push yourself to the boundaries. Organised planning. Something I know very little about, apparently, having completely forgot about this education stuff. But organised plan, you need to know where you're going, you need to know how you're going, and sometimes your plan may change, but you constantly got to know where you're heading to. Next is decision, leadership. Leaders know how to reach decisions promptly, and they stand behind their decisions. Basically, leaders generally know what they want, and they also know how to get it, and they generally do get it. You need to make decisions, not rashly, but you need to make them promptly, and once you've made them, you stick to them. You don't decide 2 days later not to do that. Once you've made that decision, you stick to it. That goes hand in hand with persistence. You don't ever give up. Have we all heard the story about 3 foot from gold? Again, can't remember names, but there's a guy who spent years and years and years digging for gold, bought all this equipment, and then just one day decided, I'm not going to do it. So he sold it all to a scrap man. 3 foot later, they hit the biggest gold reserves America's ever known. So this guy spent all that time and money, and he was literally 3 foot away from gold. Okay, so it just shows never give up. Next is mastermind. This is where you get a group of people around you who are like-minded, who will question your plans, who question what you're doing. So you can't just believe I'm going to fly to the sun. You need people around you that are going to say, look, that's never going to happen. Change your plans slightly. Let's fly to the moon instead, okay? But these are a group of like-minded people that are going to help you along your way. Next is sex transmutation, which is a chapter I've skipped because it's a bit deep and heavy. But basically what it said is sex drives a lot of your emotions and a lot of what you do, okay? So to kill that emotion actually kills a lot of your creative ability. But he also says that it's reason why businessmen don't make it till they're roughly 40 when chasing women are kind of dying off as an interest. Yeah. Early life, they're too busy doing that.
Is that why you skipped it? Obviously from the taxi.
Anyway, that's sex. It's always that sex. Right. Subconscious and the brain. Okay? Subconscious is actually what your inner brain is telling you. Okay. And modern days there are lots of different ways you can actually play with your subconscious. Things like neuro-linguistic programming. There are lots of different things now. But honestly, telling yourself things before you go to sleep and when you wake up, it's the easiest way to do it, and it does work. And the last one is the sixth sense. This is a medium of contact between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. Napoleon talks about when you hit, he said around 40, all of a sudden this stuff starts to make sense. He doesn't believe until you hit 40 that a lot of this works. For a lot of you in this room it looks like it's too late, but there might be still there's perfect time for. So I apologise I didn't prepare, but it is an amazing book. I recommend you go and read it. That's I've forgotten. Keep going, read. Thank you everybody.